Hey everyone, this is Sandy from eXp Realty. So today I'm going to be talking about leasehold properties. If you're new to Hawaii real estate or have never heard of leasehold, this is a great video to watch to grasp the concept of leasehold properties. So in Hawaii, there are two major types of ways you can hold real estate. One is fee simple, which means that you own the land and the building that it's standing on. And the second one is leasehold, what we're talking about in this video today. So leasehold property is when you own the building, but somebody else owns the land underneath it, and you pay the other person a monthly lease fee to borrow that land that your property is sitting on. You see a lot of leasehold properties in condos, mostly in condos in Waikiki, but there are a couple other properties around the island that are leasehold properties. And because of this reason that you don't own the land, it is relatively cheaper compared to a fee simple property that you see on the MLS. So when you run across something on the MLS and see that a particular unit in one building is cheaper, way cheaper actually than the other unit, then you know to look for the word leasehold. By law, we have to spell out the word leasehold. It cannot be written as LH, whereas fee simple usually is identified with FS. So a lot of people get excited about leasehold properties because of their lower price, but there are certain things that you have to watch out for when you are dealing with leasehold properties. So if you are in a situation where you're looking at a property listed as a leasehold property, there are 4 risk factors that I'd like you to be aware of before you decide to purchase. So the number one, the first risk factor that you have to watch out for is the fact that the lease amount could increase over time. Just like you're paying rent on a property if you're renting it, there is always a possibility that the lease for the property or the land that you're borrowing could go up over time. You have no control over that because, as I said before, somebody else owns the property and they have the right to increase the lease. So the number 2 risk factor you have to watch out for is maybe there is a clause written in the term, in the agreement, that there is an option for you to buy the land, which is called buying the fee. However, once again, since the land is owned by the other person, the price will be determined by the seller, and it's usually a very, very high price, equivalent or more than the price that you've probably paid for the building itself. And the third risk that you have to watch out for is at times the owner of the land does increase the lease period for these lands. However, the terms of the lease could be very, very unfavorable for you. So you do have to watch out for what is written in the renewal if the lease is renewing for the land. And the fourth and the final risk factor that you have to watch out for when you are considering purchasing a leasehold property is the fact that at the end of the lease period, you are going to have to forfeit the building also. So what happens is at the end of the lease, just like if you're renting a apartment building or something, you do have to return that land back to the owner. And of course, since the building is sitting on top of the land, that means you have to forfeit the building as well. And of course, you don't get the money back the amount that you paid for the building initially. So for example, if you paid like $200,000 to buy the building on top of the land, you do not get that money back. It's just at the end of the lease, everything is forfeited. Leasehold properties are not necessarily bad deals. Depending on the situation that you're in, the lease could go for like 99 years, which if you're in your lifetime, you don't plan to live there 99 years, it might be a great deal for you to sign up for something like that. But if you are considering something for your family that as a legacy you want to leave for your family members, then the leasehold property might not be the best decision for you to make. So if you are considering buying a leasehold property, my best advice to you would be to speak to a reputable agent and maybe talk about what your goals are in owning a property. Like I said before, depending on what your goals are for owning that property, it might or might not be a good idea to purchase a leasehold property. So if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the follow button so you don't miss any more videos that I put out.